Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to another quick shot review for Cheap Shot Entertainment. This is the dedicated movie channel for Cheap Shot Entertainment. We're also doing this as a podcast as well, available on all your favorite Spotify's and all that kind of stuff, favorite podcasting channels. This week I have been to see The Equaliser 3. And having not seen the first two, I was going into this one completely blind with no opinion on what I may see. And one thing is for sure, and one thing you can count on with this film, is that Denzel Washington is a very poor customer. And he doesn't disappoint in this film. The whole film I thought was absolutely great. But I'll get into the whys and why nots when we go into the main part of the podcast. In the meantime, please do follow us on the YouTube channel and the podcasting channels, as well as going over to social media and saying hi, getting conversation started. If you've seen The Equaliser 3, let us know what you thought of it in the comments section of YouTube or on social media, and let's get the conversation started. Speaking of conversations, let's get into the main part of the podcast. The Equaliser 3 is a 2023 sequel to The Equaliser 2. Go figure. It is directed by Antoine Fuqua and stars Denzel Washington, as already mentioned. Like I said, I went into this film not knowing what to expect really, but just having a need to see some kind of action film. I've seen a lot of horror films recently, a lot of family films, but action films seem to be by the wayside, apart from Mission Impossible. This one really resonated with me. Old school action film. We're talking Rambo, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all that kind of stuff, and just really getting down to business. Denzel is really cool and plays a really cool character in Robert McCall, who finds himself in the home of finds himself at home rather in southern Italy, and soon discovers friends under the control of local crime bosses. As the events turn deadly, McCall knows what he has to do to become his friend's protector by taking on the mafia. And we get a really good setup from this. Right from the start, you know what you're in for. Right from the start, it does not let up. Right from the start, you know who you're rooting for. And therein lies the beauty of this film, because not only does the start give a false sense of, I want this person to win, but then we get introduced to Robert McCall. The good thing about this film is that you could watch it like I did without seeing the first two. It could almost be the Equaliser original. And I have to say, having watched the original after watching this, I like this one more for a lot of reasons. Not only is it shot beautifully, The sound is fantastic and goes along with the action, making you feel like you are part of the film, making you want Robert McCall to win, for the mafia to lose. You really hate those guys. The locals are really nice and friendly, and you want them to win out as well. And it's just a really nice film. There's only one, maybe two big names here in this film, which makes it quite cool as well, because obviously it gives a lot of credit to people that you wouldn't normally see in a film like this. Denzel Washington plays Robert McCall. Dakota Fanning is in this film as Emma Collins. Doesn't have a massive role to play, but does drive the story forward. Eugenio Mastrandea plays Gio Benucci. David Denman plays Frank Conroy. Gia Scudellaro plays Mina, and so on and so forth. Lots and lots of local actors in this one, in terms of it being a genuine Italian uh, feel. There are lots of Italian names in there, certainly. Whether they are Italian or not is a different matter. But yes, I think this is on par, maybe even better than the first one. I've not seen the Equaliser 2, couldn't find that one in any of my streaming services, so that's perhaps something to watch. And Denzel is the only cast member returning from the previous two films. It's got some really funny moments as well, some really heartfelt moments, and the action doesn't let up. If you're squeamish, this is not one for you. They don't shy away from showing you the nasty stuff, and that's what I quite like. And it's a very satisfying action film in that respect. Um, the man who fights for the little person who can't fight back, or has family to look after, etc., etc. This guy has no inhibitions and knows what it feels like to lose loved ones. So therein lies his motivation, and he is damn good at it as well. He's humane, compassionate, and he maintains a wonderful brutality throughout to the people that deserve it. And he is an absolute badass. Denzel is a badass. And if you were to set up a Marvel universe 20 years ago, Denzel probably would have been up there as Black Panther, maybe even earlier than that, or Will Smith, maybe. But Denzel would definitely be in one of those films. He can carry a film by himself. An actor that's almost been forgotten, in fact, and it's a shame, because you look at something like this, a damn good final chapter, based on the TV series. It's the same director as Training Day and The Magnificent Seven, so you know the quality, and it is an absolutely solid final entry to the trilogy. And it's not very often that you can say a trilogy is worth watching. I reckon this one is. Like I say, reserving opinion for Equalizer 2. As soon as I can find it, I will watch it. However, I liked this film over the first one, like I've already said. Really good film. If you're going to the cinema and you're stuck for something to watch, go see this. You've seen Barbie, you've seen Oppenheimer, you've seen Gran Turismo, and others. This is a good choice. Not only will all races, sexes, sizes love this film. It is just a genuinely heartfelt film with explosions. And that's what you want to have an action film, isn't it? Anyway, that is my thoughts on the Equalizer 3. Definitely a recommendation worth making. If you're going to the cinema, I would suggest you watch the Equalizer 3. Very, very good film. Not too long either. Just under 2 hours compared to some films that are 2.5 hours these days. But that's it. And we move on to more films coming up. We've got Cobweb coming up as well, something that I've been looking forward to. And amongst others, coming up in the next couple of weeks. There will be a couple of weeks where I perhaps don't post anything, but I think I'm ahead of the curve on this one because I am going on holiday. So, with that, I will see you next time, film fans. Keep watching those movies, and I'll see you next time.